And you are go live.
Should I do the interpretation piece right now?
You don't actually have anybody in here yet.
Okay.
But now they're coming in. So go ahead.
Okay. I just want to welcome everyone today and let people know that we do have language interpreters here today for Arabic, Spanish, and Amharic. And we're going to give instructions first in Arabic.
أرحب بكم جميعا. عندنا اليوم عرض بجميع اللغات باللغات العربي والإسباني والأمهري، وسنعطي التفاصيل بعد قليل.
Thank you. Now in Spanish.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Luis Enríquez, yo seré su intérprete de español. Seleccione en la parte de abajo de su pantalla la opción de traducción y seleccione el canal de español para poder escuchar mi voz. Gracias.
Amharic.
ጤና ይስጥልኝ። እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ። የትርጉም አገልግሎት አዘጋጅተናል በአማርኛ፣ በስፓኒሽ እና አረብኛ። የአማርኛ አገልግሎት የትርጉም አገልግሎት የምትፈልጉ ከሆነ ወደ ቻናል በመጫን ከእንግሊዝኛ ወደ አማርኛ የትርጉም አገልግሎት እንደምታገኙ ለመግለጽ እንወዳለን። በድጋሚ እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ። እናመሰግናለን።
I have started the interpretation. If we can start the recordings. Because we are having interpreters this morning, I want to remind everyone to please speak slowly so that our interpreters can keep up with us. I want to invite Dr. Gerald Mann from the senior leadership team for Alexandria City Public Schools to do our welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Jacobs. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the ACPS senior leadership team, I'd like to welcome you all to today's webinar with MGM Resorts International Training and Careers. The webinar is hosted by our ACPS Business and Government Industry Advisory Board. This IAB is one of the 4 boards that support the school division's educational design team. The goal of all 4 IABs is to provide ACPS with partnerships that generate valuable resources for supporting the success of all ACPS students. We truly appreciate MGM Resorts International speaking today about career paths they have to offer. Again, good morning and welcome. And Dr. Jacobs, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Mann. We're very excited this morning to have 2 representatives from MGM Resorts International. The first panelist is Wanda Smith Gisbert, and she's the Vice President of Workforce Development. And she provides overall organizational insight, analysis, and strategic workforce development to support the business needs of 8 regional resorts in the US, along with MGM Japan. She recently celebrated another successful opening of the MGM Springfield location. Prior to opening MGM Springfield, Wanda was on the opening team for MGM National Harbor, a $1.4 million resort located here near Washington, D.C. Gina Peters is the Vice President of Operations Program Office for MGM Resorts International at the National Harbor location. She studied at the University of Nevada, where she received both her Executive Master of Business Administration and bachelor's degree in finance. She is an active member of our Alexandria City Public Schools Business and Government Industry Advisory Board. And we also have the chair of our Business and Government Industry Advisory Board, Thomas James here also. So welcome, everyone. Wanda?
Hi, good morning, everyone. We're going to get things kicked off with Gina Peters this morning as our welcome and introductions continue.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the honor and privilege to be with you today. And thank you to Dr. Jacobs and to Thomas for working so hard to bring this to fruition today. It is such a privilege to be a part of the board. It's been a wonderful experience for me and an honor for MGM. I just want to give you a little background about myself as we gather today, because I know that we're talking to high school students, and it's such a critical time in your life as you consider what your career might be and what your future might look like. So I hope it's a bit helpful for me to share my career path with you and maybe give you a little bit of words of wisdom from someone who's been there. I started with MGM Resorts right out of my college career. I had just graduated with a degree in finance. I was very fortunate to go to UNLV and to study alongside some amazing professionals. And I really did gravitate towards business, but quite frankly, I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I didn't have a ton of direction. I knew I loved to dance. I'm sure many of you have passions and interests that you gravitate towards that aren't necessarily academic, but I did know that I wanted something general that I could flex around the corporate world and figure myself out. So I got a degree in finance, and I thought that would give me some options, and it most certainly did. So right out of my career in college, I was looking for a job very, very frequently. I applied a lot of places. I was just joking earlier today with Wanda and let her know that I had applied at the mall, at the makeup counter, and also at Bellagio. And whatever company replied to me first, I was going to take the job. And I'm very, very lucky that Bellagio replied to me first. And I took an administrative assistant job. And I'm sure, like many of you, you're going to have to get your foot in the door somewhere. And I was so blessed that it happened to be MGM Resorts, because it is an amazing company. I got my foot in the door as an administrative assistant, and that meant that I kept an executive's calendar. I kept order in the office. I helped communicate the objectives of the office, and I kept order in the communications of the office. And so I learned a lot. I met a lot of great people. I developed my network, and I continued to move around. And I was very fortunate to experience 8 promotions in 9 years. And I think that's a testament to a lot of hard work and discipline, but also to the culture of MGM. The culture of MGM is, if you're here to learn and grow, if you're here to optimize your potential, to reach out to the people around you and say, I want to know what you know, we're here to help. We're here to embrace that. And the sky's the limit. So I've been very fortunate to work my way around MGM. I've held positions in finance and accounting, in all different areas, in our food and beverage accounting, in our hotel accounting. I've also been fortunate the last 5 years to open properties out here on the East Coast. I assisted in opening MGM National Harbor right outside of DC. I opened MGM Springfield in Massachusetts. I then integrated 2 new assets, one in Ohio, MGM Northfield Park, one in New York, Empire City by MGM Resorts, and then Borgata in New Jersey, that is in Atlantic City. And we continue to find opportunities with new resorts. And today, I report directly to our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Corey Sanders, and I execute on high opportunity projects for him. Opportunities to optimize our business, to find operating efficiencies, and to continue to enhance our customer experience. So I'm very, very lucky to work for MGM Resorts, and I hope today we can express to you what kind of opportunities might be available for you as well. As Dr. Jacobs mentioned, I studied at UNLV. It's been wonderful for me. I have 2 degrees from there, and part of what MGM offers and what we'll discuss with you today is the opportunity to get your degrees from UNLV or UNR or other learning institutions within the Nevada higher education framework for free. So that's one of the things we offer at MGM that I think is very attractive. But my degrees are, I've put to good use, and hopefully someone on this call will get to do the same. My husband and I and our two beautiful children live in Alexandria, Virginia, and we love it here. And so hopefully that our careers allow us to stay here for as long as we can. And with that, I'd like to move on to the next slide. Okay. Our brand promotional video is a little bit hard to stream because it is so dynamic and so impactful, but hopefully you get a chance to watch it in its full capacity, perhaps on YouTube or another venue. But it basically showcases that MGM is a compilation of every industry you can think of, and not just a fraction of the industry, but everything in one. We have hotel, we have restaurants, we have retail, we have entertainment, and not just a little bit, we have the full gamut. When you think of what it takes to run these industries that all combine into one, you have HR, you have IT, you have finance, you have marketing, and some of those support functions like security, where not only do you have the security that you would think of at your local mall, you have a full police precinct, 400 licensed security officers with holding rooms and investigators and the state-of-the-art surveillance that you wouldn't find anywhere else. I hope I can, at least in some small way, impart on you that MGM is a small city come to life. We have 3,000 employees when we're at full capacity. We have the type of positions that start well above minimum wage, that launch into full-blown careers that that people sometimes enter MGM resorts and participate in 5 or 6 different full careers within the same company, whether that be in IT and then front desk and then food and beverage, and then they go to HR, and it's very, very transferable. I don't think there's any way to understate the sheer amount of opportunity that we have at MGM. But what I want to make sure you understand is that once you're in the company, there is endless opportunity. There's truly something for everyone. Our job, no matter where you work, is to come in and to create a culture of excellence, to wow the guest, to create a guest experience that is unforgettable. We have positions that we will train you from top to bottom. You might want to come into MGM and learn security disciplines, to get certified in certain things around security, and then take a career in law enforcement. You may want to come to MGM and learn the ins and outs of the front desk, and then take that knowledge and expertise anywhere. Work for Hilton, work for Ritz-Carlton, or work for anywhere. You may want to come to MGM and learn from the best culinary experts in the industry, and then take that knowledge and work anywhere. Or maybe perhaps like me and stay with MGM your whole career. I want to talk a little bit about corporate social responsibility, because that's a very big deal to our company. It's not just a corporation or a job, it's about giving back to the community. So our mission is to engage, entertain, and inspire. And we do this by giving back. We work all throughout our communities. Our job is to uplift the communities in which we operate. We give back to the local food banks, we give back to the planet, we do all sorts of fundraising, of volunteering, and it's actually a very fun and rewarding part of the MGM culture. But hopefully you learned a little bit about this from me today, but you're gonna learn a lot more about how to engage with MGM, how to start your career with MGM, and what it might mean to you from our expert and the most dynamic person I know, Wanda Smith-Gisbert. She'll take it from here. Wanda?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Good morning, students, and welcome to the MGM Career Information Session today. I was introduced earlier, but my name is Wanda Gisbert. I am Vice President of Talent and Workforce Development for all of MGM. So that's MGM in the US, MGM in Japan, MGM in Dubai. So I have a wonderful career that actually started when I was 18, working at the front desk. Many of you have been to hotels before with your parents and checked in and received a room key. Well, that was me when I was 18, checking you in, using the computer systems, making sure that credit card payments were taken properly and that you received a clean and beautiful room, had a wonderful stay, and was there to service you throughout your needs. So that's how many people get started at MGM and other hospitality companies, is that very front line employee. We're there to say, welcome, we're so glad you're here, and to make sure that if you're at the restaurant, you're receiving the best possible care that we can give you. It makes you want to come back time and time again. If you've ever been to a restaurant or Disney or any place on vacation, you're there to have a wonderful time, and we're the people who can make that happen for you. So if you're like me, if you have a wonderful big personality, you love to greet and welcome people and make sure they're having a fantastic experience, whether it's a hotel, a restaurant, a spa, a club, anything that we do, then hospitality may very well be for you. So I invite you today to just open up your minds, learn a little bit more about what we do, because you might find your next profession is in hospitality. My specialty is HR, but when I started at the front desk, I was able to learn all about the systems. Never take for granted the systems that you're learning. Even if you work on a cash register, guess what? A cash register is a computer. And you're learning things that you can move and change and grow into something very special. When you start working at McDonald's, that cash register is a computer. You're taking credit card payment, you're processing people's orders correctly. If that machine breaks, you troubleshoot that machine. Those are all great skills that you can learn and put on your resume. So I went from being a front desk clerk to an IT professional because I could troubleshoot computers. When the printer broke at work, I was the person, a natural ability to fix and repair things. I turned that into an IT career. And I began to travel for Hilton and Marriott, somewhere to go. And I've been in and out of the country, opening properties and beautiful resorts. So I love that profession for a while. And then I went to Georgia State University and received an undergrad degree in human resources public policy. After that, I continued working more. I've worked for UPS. I've worked for Equifax. I've worked for Borders Bookstore, which used to be a competitor for Barnes and Nobles. And then the wonderful MGM. With MGM, I have the opportunity to continue to travel. And then I used MGM to help me pay for my master's degree because I didn't want a student loan. And so MGM assisted in helping me pay for a master's degree. And that opportunity is still present for you. So I do have a master's in hospitality, and I felt the need to do that later on in my career because as I started traveling, international business became more important to me to learn as I started going to Japan and other countries, Singapore. And so that was the reason I decided to do that. So I want to share that with you because education doesn't always flow continuously. You can stop, take a break, work a little bit, go back to school, work a little bit. One day I hope to have a PhD and become like Dr. Jacobs. I'll be Dr. Wanda one day, but you have choices. And MGM is a great company to exercise that. So I'm happy to be with you today, share a little bit about my story, and also to share with you about how you can grow with MGM as well. So hopefully you see the next slide, which talks about how to start your MGM career path. You're in high school right now. So the first thing we need you to do is graduate. Before you graduate, we do have some part-time and on-call positions that you can take at the property. And so at the end of the presentation, I will share with you how to apply with MGM. But really to start your career path, the first step is to complete high school. When you complete high school, we know that you have checked a major box in your life. This is a major milestone, and you start thinking about what to do next. You have a choice. Now, when you think about hospitality, I want you to think about two things in particular. Are you a people person or are you not a people person? Do you love working with the public or do you love working behind the scenes? Because support people are very important as well, but maybe you don't want to work directly with the public. So in hospitality, that's your first choice. Do I want to work face-to-face with the public where there's a bunch of secrets and surprises every day? I don't know what my day is going to be like. If you're like me, you love that part. I wake up, I never know what's coming my way. And some people like that. Or if you like structure, repetition, there are careers for you there as well. And we need you. You're just as important. So people that work behind the scenes contribute to our overall success. So that's one thing. Get to know yourself. Are you a people person? Are you out there? Do you want to talk and speak and represent your brand and company? Or would you rather show your support behind the scenes? Depending on your personality, that should lead you into a proper career choice. Coming out of high school, you will have entry-level opportunities. Oftentimes people get frustrated because they apply for jobs that they're not ready for. You're still an empty vessel at this point. You've finished high school, and that's great because some people don't finish high school. So you have a milestone there, but that's the beginning of your career. So think about entry-level positions. This is where you gain all of that wonderful foundational knowledge that you need to be a professional in any area. So if you look at the positions below, we have server positions. Those are restaurant servers. Many of our vice presidents today started out as servers. That's where you learn how the restaurant works, how the food gets prepared and ready, how to plate. You learn how to read a menu, describe that menu, upsell, make sure that you're explaining to customers what we have available, making sure that you're careful about allergies. Some people have allergies or things that they prefer not to eat. I don't eat pork, never had it. So I love servers who can make sure that I don't get a dish with pork in it. It is an art form, it's a talent. You've been to restaurants before and you've had bad servers and you know what that is. You've been to restaurants and you've had great servers and you know how that feels. It elevates your experience. When you go out to celebrate your birthday or anniversary or something, you want that wonderful server. And that's what we're training you to be at MGM. It's essential that you learn that before you can manage a restaurant. You can't walk out of high school and manage people and manage a restaurant. You start learning foundational knowledge pieces in these entry-level positions. A bus person, that's the person that comes out, they're checking the tables, they're clearing tables when people leave, they make sure things are clean and sanitary, which is the #1 important thing in any restaurant. It doesn't matter how great your food is, if it's not clean, if it's not sanitized, then there are problems. So you are essential to what we do. You're actively scanning the restaurant. When you go to a restaurant, take note of all of these jobs. People are looking to see, oh, did they drop a fork? Let me pick that up and remove it. Is the table clean? Should I change this out or change that out? So they're actively looking, and then they're clearing and sanitizing everything that we have. We have utility porters, host people, cooks, many more positions. But I just want you to start paying attention now when you go out to restaurants and look for the jobs and what people are doing. All of those jobs have a job description, and they're essential to making sure that that restaurant runs well, so that people that eat there don't get sick, so that they have a wonderful experience and they give wonderful reviews, and it keeps your business growing. So we need you on that entry-level side so that you can understand the foundational knowledge of running, owning, and operating restaurants. The next step is college, right? Or a training program that's not necessarily college. College is not the only route. Many people go into the military, many people join apprenticeship programs. There's 2-year college, there's job training programs. COVID has certainly introduced more online learning, so please take advantage of whatever you can. But after you finish high school, have a plan of what you want to do next. And if you don't know, because I didn't always know, join a company and start taking note of what you like, what you don't like. How do you want to spend your day? Would you like to talk to people? Would you like to contribute to processes? Do you like to walk around? Would you like a seated position? Do you want to be inside, outside? Working on a computer, working with your hands. Start getting to know things about yourself. And then you can use our tuition benefit program to apply for tuition at any one of these places. You can use it to go to culinary school. You can use it to go to any place that has a certification, Microsoft certification. Right now, what's really big is learning how to program for apps. So many of you have an iPhone, or you have an Android, or you may have something else, but There are people that program apps for those phones because everyone has an app. MGM has an app, your favorite store has an app, you get your groceries, there's an app. So that's a really hot profession right now that you can take some certifications and learn. But the main point is to know that if you join MGM, we will help you achieve your goals. We will help you financially, and it keeps you out of student debt, which is what it did for me. So let's talk a little bit now about what happens after you graduate college or your job training program. That's when you launch into your full career. Your resume has been building over the years because hopefully you started with an entry-level position. You learned a little bit about an industry or profession and yourself, and you've attained skills at this point. Right now, some of you already have skills. You've had jobs in the past, or you've had a lot of classes that you've taken, the classes that maybe your parents have encouraged you to take. Some of you are great swimmers because you took swimming classes. Guess what? We hire lifeguards at MGM. Some of you are musicians because you've taken music classes and many instruments your whole life. Well, guess what? We have entertainment here, and there's a lot of places for you to go. So already you have skills. So take a moment and list about 5 skills that you have, maybe from volunteering. Even if you volunteer, you learn something. At church, I'm on the welcome committee. I welcome and I greet people when they walk in. That's a skill that you learn. So if you haven't had your first job yet, perhaps you've volunteered for a nonprofit organization. You've still developed skills. So after this session, take a minute and just jot down 5 skills that you have. Maybe you can swim, maybe you know CPR, maybe you know a second language or a third or a fourth. Those are all skills, and it's so important. Your goal in life is to continue to grow those skills and build those skills so that you can be better than the competition. And when I get to your resume, the more skills you have, the better it is for you. So start today committing to skill building. That's my first bit of advice. So as you continue your path throughout MGM, we've talked about high school, the entry-level point, the college point. And as you see, even though the slides might look the same, there's a different shading of arrow on each one. Once you have completed the college portion, you're ready for us. But let's say you decide, you know what, I want to come right into the workplace. That's fine as well. MGM is known for being career builders. None of our positions lead to dead-end jobs. There's a career path for every single thing that we do at MGM. So let's take something like bus person here. That might be your entry-level position. After you leave there, you might go to a restaurant server. After you leave server, you can become a restaurant supervisor, and now you're supervising servers. Many of you have already had jobs where you've trained people. A new person comes on board and they say, you know what, can you train this person on using a cash register? That's a skill to be able to train people. You see your educators do it every day. That is a skill. It is a talent to be able to train people to do what you do. Just because you can do the role doesn't mean you can teach others. And so that's a foundational, I would say, principle of being a leader. Leaders can create other leaders, and you do that by training. So even if you have siblings, I used to be the cousin that could teach everybody how to tie their shoes. Whenever we got a new cousin and they needed to know how to tie their shoes, they would say, Cousin Wanda can help you, because I had a secret little trick to teach people. Some people are naturally good at training. So think about that for yourself. Are you a natural leader? Do you like to talk? Do you like to explain? Do you have the patience like your educators have? And can you show people something that they pick up on? So that's something I want you to think about. Being a trainer is a profession within hospitality. We have trainers in every different department. We have trainers for the restaurant. We have trainers for the hotel. We have trainers for security. So if you like a particular area and you're good at training, think about going into that as a profession. And that's a really great skill. After you leave the training or trainer role, typically you are an assistant manager or manager for a position. Now, there are many positions at MGM that you can hold without a 4-year degree, and you can do very well. But there will come a point in many professions that a minimum qualification, meaning you must have this or you can apply for this next job, will be to get a college degree. It may not happen immediately. So for me, it happened a little bit later on in my career. I had grown as far as I could go without having a college degree. And I reached the next level and they said, you need a degree. So guess what? I went back to school and I got that. And then I was able to apply for that next level of positions. So if you hit a ceiling within your career, don't give up. Sometimes you have to take part-time classes. Sometimes you have to take a schedule where you're working the overnight shift and you're going to classes throughout the day. I love the fact now that many classes are offered online, so it gives you that flexibility. But you will come to a point if you desire to grow that you may have to do that, and that's fine. So take the time, dig in, and go ahead and go to school and get that. And I will tell you this, oftentimes I hear people say, you know, I just want to be a YouTuber. Work doesn't seem fun. Maybe your parents come home and complain about work and they don't necessarily tell you the great part. They come home and say, I had a tough day. I had to start thinking about that with my 19-year-old, because I will tell you this, there's joy in every job if you're intended to do it. So you have what's called a natural tendency. There are things you do well naturally without giving much effort. Some of you are singers, some of you are dancers, some of you can troubleshoot computers or your phone. There's some people that, you know, I have parents and they can't get on the internet. They call my daughter, she can troubleshoot. Guess what? That's a skill to get your grandparents on the internet these days. So what I want you to do is go ahead and think about your natural tendency. That's really where you belong. And when you get jobs in that area, it feels great every day. If you have a job that's too tough for you and you're not getting joy, my advice is to change professions. Pick something else, because when you're doing what you're naturally good at, you're going to feel like a YouTuber. You're going to feel like you're having fun every day. That's how I feel about the role that I have. Now, I have a quick little test I want you to try right now. Hopefully you have a pencil or a pen in your hand. I want you to take that pencil or that pen, and I want you to just write your first name down. Just write your name down. Okay, real simple, right? Now take that pencil, put it in the other hand. Now write your name again. Not so easy. Feels a little difficult. Your natural tendency feels easy. It feels smooth. You don't feel like it's that type of effort. When you put that pen in a different hand, you struggle a little bit. Many of you, most of you. We don't intend for you to feel that way at work. If you're in the wrong job, you're going to feel like you're writing with that wrong hand all day long. If you ever feel that way about a position, you should change and do something else, because when it's of ease, you don't have that. So imagine going your whole day writing with the wrong hand or the opposite hand, and you're going to feel drained. You're going to feel frustrated. You won't get your work done as quickly as others. It'll be sloppier. Look at how that felt. And that's the best example I can give you to what it feels like to work in the wrong industry. Find out a little bit about yourself first, and then you're going to make the right choice and listen to yourself when you get that feeling that that tendency is just a little bit off. So that I want you to take that away today as a takeaway. We're going to talk about the pathways really quickly, the tuition reimbursement that we talked about with the College Opportunity Program. So when you join MGM, after you've been with us about 6 months, we will offer to pay your tuition for a job certification, community college. Whether you work full-time for us or part-time, that's a really great deal. I had student loans in undergrad. They're not so fun. For MGM, this is a really great offer. So you work for us for 6 months, part-time or full-time, and guess what? You're eligible at that point to take advantage of our College Opportunity Program through tuition reimbursement. Here's how that works. Get all the slides up. So the reimbursement is associated with a degree program or certification, anything that's nationally accredited. You can receive up to $4,000 per year if you select a school that's outside of the 6 schools that we offer. There are 6 schools that we pay for 100%. UNLV is one of them, and that's one of the schools that I went to. Also, you heard Gina Peters mention she went there as well. When you select this, it must be directly related to your current position, or it can prepare you for a better career path at MGM. And then you must have 6 months of continuous service with MGM. So that's it. After 6 months for working with us, you're eligible to apply for this. So I want you to keep that in mind as you go throughout the presentation. We do have a partnership with 6 of the schools in Nevada, and because they're all online, I was in Maryland when I took the UNLV program, so you don't have to be in the Las Vegas area to take advantage of this. Now, if you want to move to Las Vegas, hey, we're not going to stop you. It's a great place to live, and that's where we're headquartered. And it's typically always sunny there. For the programs that we pay for, you never have to pay the cost in advance. You just get accepted with the program, and we will pay that cost for you. And again, it's 6 months of working with us for that program. And you must remain an employee of MGM for at least a year after you complete the program. So we want to make sure that whatever you learn, that you're able to contribute to us for at least a year, you know, after the program has completed. And then after that, you are well on your way. I believe this is the last step here. Yeah, you're well on your way to getting your college education for access to many more jobs that are available. We also have internships. So when you hit your junior year of college, you're able to apply for an internship at MGM Resorts. Those are always posted on our website. And then once you complete college, we have something that's a 12-month program, which allows you to rotate to every department at MGM and get a little taste of it. Because again, there's so many professions out there that you're not aware of. Maybe I want to work in hotel, maybe I want to work in a spa. Once you join the 12-month rotation program, it's a management associate program, then you're able to rotate a little bit from each department. You see what you like, you see what you didn't know about, and then you start the process of deciding what you want to do for life. So it's a very good opportunity if you're not really sure what you want to do, to just take a look at all things and then decide at the end of a year. So we encourage you to apply for that. I go into now a little bit about some of the departments to give you an idea of just the variety that's there. Of course, you saw the video, which I'm starting to think didn't play fully, so I'll double check later. But we are all about entertainment. We're where people come when they win on game shows, like our hotels are given away as prizes on The Price is Right. We're where people come when they want to take a vacation or when they have corporate travel and they have big conventions. Las Vegas is a convention town, meaning we have the airport to support a lot of people coming in. We have the hotel rooms to support a lot of people that stay. And we have the restaurants as well. If you wonder why big events take place in the same cities all the time, not every city can fly in hundreds of thousands of people, feed them, have enough hotel rooms, and have enough convention space. Places like Atlanta is a convention city. Las Vegas is a convention city. We have the infrastructure to support that. So when you see all the basketball tournaments and competitions, that's why they come to Vegas. We have enough hotel rooms and enough food and beverage operations to support it. So entertainment is one of the biggest reasons people come our way. We have the headliners, we have Lady Gaga, we have Drake, we have Beyonce. When you work for MGM, you're part of the strategy. You decide, what artist is hot? What's going on right now that can drive a lot of tickets? Is it K-pop? Is it, what group is really out there? You sit down and you decide who gets invited to come to sell out arenas. You don't book people that can't sell out shows. So you have to stay on what's current. So if that's you, if you like to stay in the know and know who's hot and know who can sell, maybe entertainment's for you. That's the strategy part. Who can we book to sell multiple shows? Madonna, Cher, although your generation might not think Cher, is a hot stopper, let me tell you, Cher is in her 70s and she can sell out shows all over the world. So can Diana Ross, because they're classics and they really pull fans that they've had for a lifetime. But even in your generation, think about who's hot. That's who you want to book a show. Arena operations, you get to decide, okay, this person's coming in. Let's say we book Lady Gaga. You know what her show looks like. She wants to be put on a harness. She wants to be flown around. She likes things to explode when she's on stage. You're booking all of those things. Okay, tell us what she needs. And line by line, you're booking everything that has to happen and you execute that with the different groups throughout MGM. There are people that do that. Their entire job is to make sure the artist show goes precisely as they want. Beyonce is very precise. This happens 10 seconds in, 50 seconds in, 10 minutes in. Everyone has what's called a run of show. If that's you, if you can execute a production, then entertainment is where you belong. Or maybe ticketing, sales, marketing. Once you book an artist, you have to market that artist so that people will know to come in and buy their tickets. So if you're good about marketing, if you throw a party at your high school and you can get half the high school to your house, maybe you have a marketing eye. So how do you get people to come to things? How do you promote it on social media, commercials, television, radio? That might be for you. And then executing a flawless production, because the same person that books the show isn't the same person to plan the show, isn't the same person to market the show, and they're not the same executors at the back end. We need people all over. So that's finance, accounting, marketing, IT, cybersecurity. We have professions in all of these areas. And so they touch upon other different areas of career opportunities within MGM. Social media, we have people, all they do is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those wonderful new platforms that I don't know about because I'm a little older and I don't keep up with all the TikToking that happens in the world. We have people that do all of that for us. And if that's an interest of yours, then perhaps you should think about marketing. Marketing that happens within the US or marketing that happens internationally. We need people. Also on the corporate side, so every organization has a corporation that headquarters that's leading out. They put together the strategic plan, the financial plans. They make sure that all of the different departments are getting similar instructions on how we're going to operate MGM this year, next year, for the next 5 years. And so maybe you want to go into an office all day and do the strategic planning and the overall budget and marketing, because you can't spend anything you want on a Lady Gaga show. You have to make sure it pencils out and it makes sense financially. So let's not spend this amount of money if the ticket sales will be X amount of money. Let's make sure that everything is in a check and balance system. So maybe that's you, then that's great. Even at the MGM resorts in Las Vegas, we hire scientists, marine biologists, we have shark tanks, we run full aquariums. And so we hire people with science degrees, all types of degrees. So when you look at MGM being a hospitality company, we are, but we are so much more because we have the ability to hire from all different backgrounds. Somebody has to feed the sharks. Somebody has to write the diet for the animals to eat. Someone has to do all these types of things. And so guess what? You can work for MGM and work in these different capacities. IT is a big one. Most of you are already pretty proficient in systems because you've been born of generations where you've always had the internet and you've always had computers. That's a natural advantage and skill that you have. Go ahead and use that. Take a few more courses and maybe you can go into IT and help us in that capacity. I used to work in IT for a little bit so I could build a computer from scratch. I can hook up Cisco routers. I can hook up satellites. I can interface your refrigerator in your hotel. So when you pull a Coke out the refrigerator, it builds a Coke on your computer, on the bill downstairs. If you put it back, I can't really fix that. But when you take it off, it sends a bill. If you pick up a Kit Kat, hey, it sends a bill. So that's called interfacing. And that's something that I learned when I was working within IT. So if you like fun things like that, that might be something for you. We also have a legal department, which is really robust. So if you want to work in law, where we deal with all types of contracts, employee negotiations, or just keeping your company safe and free from lawsuits, you know, if you've got that legal eye, we have a place for you. And it's so nice to be able to have just all of these options when you're thinking about school. Then, of course, you have human resources, my area. We are the ones to hire the people, recruit the people, retain the people, advance the people. We are all about having our employees have a wonderful experience, giving them educational opportunities and grow and soar. It is my absolute passion when people come to work for us in an entry-level capacity, they learn and they grow and they become a future leader. That's the way it should happen. And I want you to have the trust and belief that companies today want you. They want you to come in, be on time, do a great job, and we will give you the training. We will give you the avenues to receive the education so that you can stay and work for us. So many people think that jobs are just tough places and they're not fun. Not only are they fun when you're doing what you are naturally good at, they are also cheerleaders for you. I want all of our employees to be at their very best. And so we're giving you vacation time, benefits to make sure you're healthy. So medical, dental, 401k, human resources gets in there and we negotiate with people like Kaiser and other people to make sure you have the best rates. We want to be the best place for employees to work. That is the goal of human resources. So if that's you and that resonates with you, then maybe think about HR. We also set the compensation for everybody. So we do the research, we decide who gets paid what, and that's all science. It's based on research. So if you like digging into data and doing wage analysis and deciding compensation and who gets what positions are graded certain ways, then that's a part of human resources as well. So it's a very exciting profession. We talk primarily about hospitality. So that's your food and beverage, that's your hotel operations, front desk, training. We sit down at MGM and we say, okay, let's have a meeting about how we can make the customer happier. Let's have a meeting about what we can do to create a wow moment. If you love wowing people and that's your talent and skill, you love these meetings because you're sitting here thinking about how can I elevate the customer experience? We're actively thinking about how to make you say, wow. When you check into MGM and you open your room door, we want you to say, oh, wow, this room is beautiful. It's clean, it's this and that. Have you ever walked into a hotel room and it just took your breath away? That's because we have people designing that room and they're picking out the drapes and the bedspreads, and then the cleaners are cleaning it the way that they're trained to, and they're placing the pens and the pencils, and it has a certain smell. So when people check in, we want to take their breath away in a wonderful way. And if that's your skill, then hospitality is where you belong. Hotel strategy, those are the people that decide how much you're going to pay for a hotel and when you're going to pay how much you pay. In slow season, you might get a better deal. In peak season, where all the rooms are sold out, you're going to pay a little higher. That's the way hotel strategy works. They set prices for menus and everything. So you ever wonder why a cheeseburger costs maybe $5 someplace, $10 someplace, $20 someplace, $500 someplace? There's a $500 burger out there. I haven't had it, but if you get a chance to have it, tell me about it. These are the hotel strategy people. They decide the different things like that happen. Much like human resources decides the compensation. There are people that make $10 an hour in certain markets, $15 an hour in certain markets. There are certain positions that pay $100 an hour, $50 an hour. I've seen positions in my career to pay $900 an hour. So think about that law school thing. Compensation is pretty good sometimes. When you work behind the scenes and you set the strategies, these are things that you're thinking about. Analytics, financial reporting, global procurement, which is the purchasing of different products that we need. Imagine how many bottles of water we buy at MGM. So you negotiate with the water vendors of how much we pay for that water since we're buying so much. So I'm giving you just an overview of all the opportunities that you can have. So hopefully you walk away from this presentation feeling like, wow, I didn't know all of that was behind MGM, and it is. But it's behind all hospitality companies. So whether you work for us or another hospitality company, hopefully we've shared information today for you to think about how you can take your natural skills and ability, add education to that, and then pick and choose a career that's going to give you everything you've ever wanted. I have everything I ever wanted. I'm not Oprah Winfrey, but I feel like her sometimes because I have everything I've ever wanted. And it all started with me just working at the front desk, entry level, and I chose wisely the positions I would go into. And when I did something that didn't feel good, I made a decision and went someplace else, but I stuck to it. I kept my word. I was at work every day with a smile, willing to learn. If you do that, you will have everything you've ever wanted. And so with that, I'm going to pause because I know we're at time, but thank you so much. It was a pleasure to spend my morning with you. Dr. Jacobs?
Yes, we have a couple questions in the chat, and I know we only have like a minute, but I did want to get to one of the questions was, what do you mean by applying for an internship?
Yes, so when you get to your junior year, we will have positions at MGM that you can apply, and you work 10 weeks, typically during your summer break, and you get to experience working while you're on summer break from college. So that's what an internship is.
Okay, and the second question is, are the positions only in Maryland at the National Harbor location?
The positions are anywhere that MGM operates. You're closer to Maryland, so we have one location there at National Harbor, but we have them in many other states. So Las Vegas, Nevada, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Mississippi. We have them in Ohio, a few other places as well, and a couple locations in China.
Okay, thank you. I do want to thank the Business and Government Industry Advisory Board for partnering with Alexandria City Public Schools by bringing this wonderful presentation to us from MGM Resorts International. And thank you to Wanda and Gina for the excellent presentation this morning. You will also all have an opportunity to view this webinar and hear this webinar again, and there will be interpretations of all of them, of the three interpreters, and that will be on Tuesday, April 27th. And Ms. Morris at the TC Career Center will have more information about when that will be available for you to view. So at this time, we're about 2 minutes over, but again, I want to thank everyone for their participation in today's webinar and for the exciting information that Ms. Gisbert had brought to us. Such exciting opportunities that are right in our back door, right in our neighborhood, that can be entry level, right out of high school, with training and college tuition possibility reimbursements through MGM Resort International. So thank you again. Oh, one more question. How and where do we apply? And is there a link or a website for them? Super important. So thank you for whoever asked that question.
Yes, absolutely. So we will post a link so that you all can definitely get to it. But here, how you apply is you go online to our website. You can search all jobs, you can search seasonal jobs, and submit your application that way. Typically, your interview will be remote, and we will do that, using a handheld device or a computer. But this is how you apply. I will drop the deck as well so that people can have time to go over the PowerPoint. I know it was a lot of information in 1 hour, but you have access to this. And find me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. I'm always happy to answer questions from students. I love students. You all are the future, and I'm excited.
Thank you very much. And now that concludes our webinar this morning. And again, it will be open for your viewing Tuesday, April 27th. And Ms. Morris at TC Career Center will have more information about those times. Thank you again, Ms. Gisbert and Ms. Peters, for your wonderful presentation. And to our chair from the Business and Government IAB, Thomas James, thank you again for your leadership in bringing this to our ACPS students and their families.